In October, my boyfriend and I traveled to Montreal, Canada without doing proper research on the city prior to our travels. When crossing the United States-Canada border, everything seemed normal and just like the United States. I never would have realized I was in Canada if it was not for passing through Border Patrol. Upon our entry into the province of Quebec, I quickly realized I was not prepared for this trip at all because everything was written in French. At the time, the only words I knew in French were "fermez la bouche," which literally means shut up. That would not have been the most appropriate thing to say as a greeting to everybody in Montreal. The first problem began as my boyfriend and I were driving to the hotel. Thankfully, I had Google Maps directions prepared on my phone because all of the road signs were in French and neither of us knew the first thing about French words. After a long drive of seeing road signs that said things like "Arrêt" and "Ouest" that made our heads spin, we finally arrived to the city of Montreal. Finding our hotel was another challenge, but luckily we got there after a long time of searching, even with the help of Google Maps. When we arrived at the hotel and went inside to check in, we happily greeted the gentleman at the front desk. He did not speak English either. Through a few hand signals and small words of English, things were finally straightened out and we were given our room key. After settling in our room, we decided we would find somewhere to eat. Since our hotel was in the actual city of Montreal, everything was walking distance. We walked out of our hotel and picked a direction to explore. We came upon an eating place that seemed pretty nice, yet relatively inexpensive. We walked in the door. The host did not speak any English. Slowly realizing how much of a nightmare this trip was becoming due to our lack of French knowledge, we sat down at the restaurant. As we opened the menu, we saw more French words. After doing some online searching about what we were ordering on the menu, we decided just to order one appetizer to split and get out of there and back to our hotel where we could hide away and be comfortable in our own room for the night. However, before going back to our hotel, we decided to stop at a grocery store that was located right down the street. We ended up buying muffins for breakfast, wine, and a frozen dinner to heat up since we were still hungry from our small dinner at the restaurant. As we went up to the cashier to pay for our things, we realized she did not speak English either. This time, we weren't surprised. She kept trying to tell us something about the things we were buying, but to this day, we still have no idea what she was saying. After the grocery store trip, we went to our hotel, got some sleep, and had clear minds to begin the next day. Each day after our first night there seemed to go a little more smoothly. We picked up on some French words such as bienvenue, meaning welcome, and je vous remercie, meaning thank you. We also realized that we should just keep to ourselves and interact with as few people as possible. As we headed downtown into the city, we found more people who knew English, which made interacting with the waiters, cashiers, and everyday people much easier. We ended up exploring many shops, visiting Old Montreal, and spending a lot of time sightseeing on top of a mountain called Montreal, both during the daytime and nighttime. Despite the original stress of the first night in Montreal, it actually ended up being one of my favorite vacations.